Welcome to my video. So, if you're a regular follower, this is me after coming back from the UK and traveling down south to celebrate the new year. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. I try to give you a bit of an insight to Poland, tell you about the history, show you what life is like here, and really show off the sights. So in today's episode, we go down south to celebrate the new year. And welcome to Krakow. You may not recognize this as Krakow, but it is indeed part of the province. And we are in a nice isolated house out in the country to celebrate and have fun. Now, any Polish party is complete with a lot of food. So I hope you see how delicious everything looks. It was very tasty. But of course, any Polish party has plenty of alcohol as well, in particular vodka. If you're at a party and there isn't vodka, you're not at a Polish party. You will also find at these parties there is a lot of dancing, a lot of celebration, and more dancing. And even more dancing. In fact, the dancing continued along with some sing-alongs until about 6:30 in the morning. I wish I could say I survived that long. Yes, it continues like this for a while, but I hope you get the picture of how much fun these Polish parties are. They will dance to a lot of traditional Polish music, modern Polish music, Western stuff. There was a certain Belarusian chap who appeared a few times. But yeah, they certainly know how to have fun. And here we are, counting down the new year and celebrating in style. Fireworks, of course, very necessary.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And this just gives you a bit of a glimpse of some of the firework displays that we could see from our location. Sadly, it was a bit cloudy, but we did our best.
Okay.
And no party would be complete without a nice breakfast spread the day after. Now, the video doesn't end here, so we've celebrated, we've had our fun, but now we're going to go for a little bit of a walk, and we're actually going to leave Krakow. Here you see some potato fields. Very traditional area of Poland. This is the Wisła or Vistula. It may look a little bit smaller than perhaps you've seen in other videos, but this is it. Quite close to the source up in the mountains. So we are now going to Niepołomice, which is part of the Wieliczka county. It's kind of a small city slash town with about 14,000 people, so certainly not the smallest place in Poland, but you know, this is just us kind of walking to the center from the outskirts. This is a very fancy looking bus station. Just check out that bus station. And this is just giving you a little bit of an insight into how this city looks. You know, a nice quiet place, very relaxing. And actually a fair bit to do. We were only there for a few hours, but in that time we saw, you know, a lot of very nice looking buildings. I think the area is fairly well funded. and it's right next to this big forest area where actually they've reintroduced zebra, which is like a rather large Polish bison, and I think it's one of the first places they've introduced them. This is the royal castle, and this was actually, built in sort of 1349, by King Casimir the Great. And it has been rebuilt. It lost a floor due to the Austrians, I believe. There was some kind of conflict here, which resulted in things having to be rebuilt, which is quite common in Poland. Though this city luckily wasn't really damaged during World War II, it being a kind of lower priority target. Now, inside the castle, you've got a few things. I mean, we mainly just kind of stuck around the courtyard, but there is a museum. There are some Gothic cellars as well to see. There's this rather fun statue of a jester. And this statue is the Lady with an Ermine statue, which you can see here is a representation of Leonardo da Vinci's work, which is actually housed in the Czartoryski Museum in Krakow. And here's King Casimir the Great. Here are some birds. I forget exactly what they're called. I think they had a fancy Polish name. And this was this is a statue of a kind of mythological Amazon woman who apparently saved the king during one of his hunting trips. And this is the market square. All the best places in Poland have an amazing market square, and this is no exception. But the city actually has this as well, which is the parish church of 10,000 martyrs, which was again founded by Casimir the Great in 1349 this time. And the first records of the area kind of go back to around the 10th century, I believe, which is back to the time of the first Piasts. And actually nothing really developed city-wise until the 14th century. But until then it was used as like a popular hunting ground by the Polish monarchs. And actually the castle was the second royal seat of Poland after Warsaw. So there is some historical significance here. And of course, like everywhere in Poland, nicely decorated for Christmas. But beautiful scenes, wonderful place to spend an afternoon. And despite the appearance of things, we got quite lucky with the weather. It was forecast to pour it down with rain. But we seem to miss most of that, thankfully. But this was a nice little diversion and a nice way to kind of sober up after the previous night's festivities. But actually, next up, just to kind of finish the video, we spent an evening in Krakow. So this is one of the traditional kind of Christmas houses. This is Warsaw. And you can see, a few Christmas lights on display here. And some beautiful streets. I have not yet done a video about Krakow, but certainly I captured a bit of footage while I was here. And I'm hoping to go back in the summer and actually do a proper video. I know there are 100 videos, 1,000 videos of Krakow out there. But I'll try and find a way to put my spin on it to give you a taste. Of course, Krakow is the most popular place in Poland for tourists. And here you see many people celebrating in the streets and just enjoying the festive season, which is always a wonderful time of year here in Poland. So yeah, this is the big cathedral, I believe, in the centre, and a nice view of the Christmas market that luckily was still open. And I love these little icicles you see on the trees here. I think that's a wonderful Christmas effect. But certainly Krakow was very full of life. You know, it was a nice place to kind of get away and just relax, explore the city a bit. And wonderfully decorated, as you would expect. There's always a bit of competition between Krakow and Warsaw. And people generally pick one of the two to be their favourite place in Poland. Me, I'm leaning a bit more towards Warsaw. But maybe I'm biased because I live here. But thank you very much for watching this video. A wonderful start to the new year. And feel free to like and subscribe. And do zobaczenia!